Hi, thank you for joining me. Tonight we are going to do the Skillet Sensations 5 meal kit. So we are going to be assembling 5 meals. These meals, Skillet Sensations, that's literally what it is it's pretty much all made in one skillet. So a pretty easy meal to prepare. You're going to have everything done up ahead of time. So some pretty quick meals that you will have on hand ready to go and make supper or your dinner time, your meal time, super simple for you. So we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. So the first recipe that we are doing, and if you decide to do this as a workshop, you do receive the recipe booklet with the meal kit, but I also have some instructions that are step 1 and step 2 that I feel are much easier to follow. So if you look at the booklet and you go, you know, that's really kind of doesn't work for me, because we all think and process information differently, and this works for me. So if this is something that you want to check out and use this way like I do, just shoot me a message and I'm happy to get these instructions to you as well. So I have already put my meat into the freezer bag. So now we're just going to be adding the other ingredients from the recipe into bags. Most of the recipes will have 2, sometimes 3, maybe even 4 bags. So, and then we will put those all together in one to keep things together in your freezer. And we label them so that you know what is what when it comes time to prepare the meals. I am choosing to not pre-cook the rice and the noodles. I prefer to do that as I am making the meals. So if you are okay with doing the meal or the noodles and the rice ahead of time, you will have a separate bag for those, but I'm going to opt to make those fresh the night that I'm going to prepare the meal. So we are starting with Alfredo chicken skillet. So I am starting with 1.5 pounds of chicken in my bag, and this is just thinly sliced. So I just took my chicken breasts and I just sliced them up real thin pieces and put that in my bag. And to the bag with the chicken, then we are going to be adding 2 tablespoons of our avocado oil. This was part of your meal kit. So I'm just going to be adding 2 tablespoons of the oil. There was a while where the avocado oil was coming in a darker green jar. So if you do receive an oil in a dark jar, it's not clear like mine, that's okay. It was just a substitution due to a glass shortage. And then to the chicken and the oil, we are going to add 1 tablespoon of onion. I always shake my onion because if you use the onion, you know that there are chunks in there and then there are fine seasonings in there. Well, the finer ingredients tend to settle toward the bottom. So I do always shake mine upside down before I use it and then let it settle back down a little. 1 tablespoon is 1/2 cupful. So I am very strategically, carefully measuring out 1/2 cupful and adding 1 tablespoon of the onion to my chicken. And then we are going to very professionally squish. That is a cooking term, I'm pretty sure. We are just going to squish the seasoning and the oil into the chicken and just mix that up a little bit. So we just want to spread the seasonings around, make sure that it's getting to all of the chicken that's in our bag. And then I'm just going to set that aside for a little while and move that out of the way. We are going to be mixing up some liquid ingredients at this point. So I am going to take my bowl and I need 1.5 cups of 1/2 and 1/2. I hope you can't see what my cupboards look like because I'm not really a very organized cupboard person. If you are, more power to you. Maybe someday I will come and take lessons from you. So we are adding 1.5 cups of half and half. And to that, we are going to be adding half a cup of chicken broth. 1.5 cups of half and half, and then half a cup of chicken broth. And then to this, we are going to whisk in 1 packet of the artichoke and spinach warm dip mix. Don't see that too fast. Artichoke and spinach, adding to our half and half and chicken broth. And then we're going to whisk that together. Tricky part is getting liquids into the freezer bags, and that is why I have these nifty little green bag holders. They are available for purchase on Amazon. I believe you might be able to find them in stores like Target and places like that too now. But they are pretty handy when you are doing freezer meals, and just folding your bags, keeping them in one place, keeping them held up so that you can add your ingredients. So we are just whisking that together, and then we are going to pour this into another bag that we have labeled with the Alfredo Step 1, and we are going to add our liquids very, very carefully. And be sure to get all of that seasoning down in there. Don't want to leave the flavor in the bowl. And then, because this one is liquid, we for sure want to be confident that this bag is sealed. It's a double seal bag, so there's 2 zips to seal, which is kind of a nice reassuring that there's at least one of them that is sealed to not let any air in, but also to not leak any ingredients out. So there we have our half and half with our chicken broth and with the artichoke and spinach. And I did spill a little bit, so I'm wiping that up here quick. It's never a bad idea to put your sheets into sheet protectors as well. It keeps them a little cleaner and drier during the process. Okay, and then we have a quart bag labeled Alfredo Chicken Skillet, Step 4. And to this, we are going to be adding 3/4 cup of peas and a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. So we'll get our vegetables in there. Things are flying here. So 3/4 cup peas and a 1/2 cup of Parmesan cheese. our Parmesan. We want a half a cup of the Parmesan cheese as well. Alfredo is one of our family's favorites. I don't know of any of us that don't like the chicken Alfredo when we go to restaurants. So this one I'm sure is going to be loved by all of us. So if you were doing your noodles on this one, the fettuccine, you would have cooked and you would also have in a gallon bag. But like I said, I'm opting to do that later. So I have my 3 bags. I have my chicken bag, I have my half and half bag, and then I have the bag with my peas in it. So then I'm going to take another freezer bag, and I use the zipper bags on this. These are, I don't feel comfortable using the zipper bags when I'm to put my foods in, just because I have had those leak on me when I'm using liquids. So I opt to use those as my outer bag and not my inner bags. So we have our chicken bag in there, and I am adding step 1 with the half and half, and then I'm adding the bag with the peas in it. All of that is in there, and everything is labeled. So I know that this is my Alfredo chicken skillet, so I will know what recipes that I'm going to be following when I take that one out of the freezer to make for our meal. Leaves all of the air out of it. The air is not your friend when it comes to freezer meals. So there we are. We have one done. And so we are going to move on to our next recipe, which is the beef lo mein. So in our prep work, we have our steak already cut up and put into our bag. So again, thinly sliced flank steak. And then first we are going to take a small bowl again, and our avocado oil, our toasted sesame oil, and cornstarch. You probably can't see all of that. There we go. So in the small bowl, we are going to be mixing 1 tablespoon of the avocado oil, along with 1 tablespoon of our toasted sesame oil. If you have not used toasted sesame oil, there's just something about it that I love the flavor of it, and it just adds such a sharp flavor to whatever you're making. We will oftentimes use it on our eggs, and we both love it in our house on eggs. So and it is often called for in salads, salad dressings, and those types of things. So I encourage you, if you haven't tried it, to go ahead and try it and have fun with it. Okay, so we have a tablespoon of cornstarch in there with our 2 oils, and we're just going to whisk that together too. And then this is going to go into the bag with the beef. Oh, I'm so not kidding you guys. This smells so good. So we're just pouring that over the meat. And like I said, that toasted sesame oil just has such an aroma to it, almost like a smoky flavor, if you haven't experienced the toasted sesame oil. So that is mixed in with our meat. And then we are going to grab another bowl and another bag. So this one, we're going to switch this one and mix that oil mixture in through our meat again. So I'm just swishing it, getting it all mixed together. And then I'm going to seal this one up. You can probably tell that I've had a bag or two spill on me, and that is why I spend a lot of time making sure that my bags are sealed. It does not hurt to double check. Okay, then in our next bag, we have another gallon bag labeled beef lo mein, step 3. Step 1. I want to do them in order here. And the nifty little bag holders adjust for height. So I can push that back down a little bit. And then in a bowl, again, we are going to mix beef broth. So 3/4 cup of beef broth with a 1/2 cup of the honey teriyaki. So 3/4 of the beef broth. And a 1/2 cup of honey teriyaki. If you have not had the honey teriyaki before, again, it's a sweet sauce, has your teriyaki flavoring in there, so a little bit of tang to it. Wonderful, mostly on stir fries is what many people use it for. But this is going to be a nice combination, putting it on the beef lo mein. So we're just going to mix that together. Again, it's our honey teriyaki sauce along with beef broth. So just 3/4 cup of the beef broth and a 1/2 cup of the honey teriyaki. So this is going to go into our bag that we have marked as step 1. That one I knew was going to be a little sticky if I spilled it, so I wanted to make sure I was over the sink for that one. Okay, so we get all of that in the bag, and then we're going to seal that up. Again, squeezing all of the air out, making sure that it is sealed. Double check, triple check, because that one's all liquid. And then we have another bag labeled step 3. And in this bag is going to be our vegetables. So again, I'm going to adjust my bag holder. And this recipe calls for bok choy. If you have never had bok choy, we were pleasantly surprised by our first experience with bok choy. It's basically just a cabbage. When you're cutting it, it may resemble celery. So maybe a little bit of relation to the celery family. So we have 3 cups of cut up bok choy. And I did a little reading on it. And with bok choy, you can use the stalk as well as the leaves. The whole entire thing is edible. I started chopping at the stalks, and when I got to 3 cups, I wasn't even to the leaves yet. So that's why mine looks all white. If you have some green in there, that's okay too. And then to the bok choy, we are going to add shredded carrots. So we are going to use 2 cups of shredded carrots. My bag ripped, so this is going to be a little bit challenging, but we're going to do the best that we can here. I like using shredded carrots in a lot of my cooking, just the smaller chunks for myself, but also for my family. And also, if you have anyone wearing braces in your household, they tend to cook up a little quicker. They're a little easier to eat. So there we go. So 2 cups of carrots in there. I used 3 because I had my 3/4 measuring cup, because my 1 cup measuring cup is busy. So 2 cups of shredded carrots, and then we're going to add 2 tablespoons of onion. So again, the lid is 2 tablespoons. So simply fill the lid. And pour. So we have 2 tablespoons of the onion in there, and then we're going to add a tablespoon of that avocado oil. And then we're going to put all 3 of these bags into 1 bag to put into the freezer. So you can mix that up a little bit. You've got the oil in there, you've got the onion, mix that around a little bit. I like to do that so that as it freezes and as it thaws, those flavors can blend a little. And they're not all sitting in one spot. They're spread around. So again, making sure that my bag is sealed. Each bag is labeled, so I will know which meal this is. If you want to get in the habit, you can print the recipes from the website as well, and you can throw a printed copy of each recipe in with these. Or if you just label them well, and then you can use your recipe booklet or the instructions when you take them out to prepare them. So I have all 3 of my bags in here, and then we're just going to close it up. So I have my steak bag, I have my vegetable bag, and then I have my liquid bag. So there we are. There is meal 2. So it's really nice when you can spend 45 minutes, an hour, putting together 5 meals, and then for the next couple of weeks, you can just pull those out as you need them. Might be a night where you are running to different activities. It might be a night where you had to work late. It might be a night where you just plain don't feel like cooking. So there are many reasons why it is beneficial to us as moms and mothers, wives, just to have some easy meals on hand already ready to go for us. So the next meal that we are going to work on is the chicken noodle skillet. So again, I started with cubed 1.5 pounds of chicken breast. I did my meat protein prep yesterday, which kind of breaks it up, and then you don't feel so overwhelmed doing it all in one night too. But if it works better for you to do it all at once, have at it. You can do it that way too. So to our chicken, we are adding 1 cup of sliced celery, 2 tablespoons of the avocado oil, and then we will be adding 2 tablespoons of the onion to this as well. Avocado oil, why are we using avocado oil for our skillets? Because our skillets are going to be probably cooked at a high temperature. Your avocado oil is a high temperature oil. It does not break down. It's a healthy oil for you. A little bit higher in calories, I do believe, but a lot of nutritional benefits in avocado oil, just like your avocados. So we have good cholesterol and bad cholesterol. Your avocado oil has the good cholesterol. So we have our oil in there, our onion, and our celery in with our chicken, and we're going to seal this up. And smush that around a little bit. I want to get that oil and that seasoning mixed up a little and spread that to the meat that is in the bottom of the bag. And then we are going to have another freezer bag, gallon freezer bag, labeled step 1, and we are going to be adding our liquids to that bag again. So we are going to start with 2 cups of chicken broth. And to our 2 cups of chicken broth, we are going to add a 1/2 cup of half and half. So there is our chicken broth. And there should be a 1/2 cup in here of our half and half. There's 1/2 cup of half and half. And then the other packet of the artichoke and spinach. So I got ahead of myself. We were supposed to do this into a small bowl so that we could whisk it, but you know, it is tastefully simple. Simple is in the name. We can't mess it up. So I am going to add the spinach and artichoke to the bag. We're gonna whisk it and smush it in the bag because we can. So you notice some similarity. This is the same concoction that we had together for the first meal. So you're gonna notice similarities in some of the recipes. Some of those same ingredients, but then you're gonna mix it up with some of the other ingredients, changing it up to get you a different flavor, a different meal. Okay, so see, that worked just fine. We have that whisked together. So we have our chicken broth and our half and half and our Alfredo. Making sure that we get all of the air out. And then we are going to take another bag labeled chicken noodle skillet, step 3. And in this bag, we are going to put our mixed vegetables. So this is kind of nice because we are putting all of our ingredients together. We're bagging them up. They're already measured. And then when it comes to making the meal, everything is in the bags as we need it. So we're just combining it together putting it together as we are cooking. So 2 cups of frozen mixed vegetables. I chose a peas and carrot combination, but you can pick whatever your family will enjoy. I have kind of a bum hand, so things get away on me a little easier than I'd like for them right now. So 2 cups of vegetables into a quart-size bag. And then we're going to close that up. And put all of these along with our egg noodles all into one bag. So we have all of our ingredients here together. So we have the chicken bag. The chicken broth bag, our liquids. And our frozen vegetables. And our egg noodles. So we have everything in one bag. So when we're ready to make this meal, it's all put together. We just grab this, we grab our recipe, and we follow the instructions to make that one. There we are. Now we have 3 meals done. Our next one is the shrimp and veggie skillet. And again, this one I opted not to prepare my rice ahead of time. So I am just starting with my shrimp bag. And with the shrimp, we are going to add more of that avocado oil. So 1 tablespoon of the avocado oil, along with 1 tablespoon of the onion. So you're getting to see how versatile that onion is. You can use it on any of your meats. It is one of my favorite products. It's probably the one that I use the most of. Using it on chicken, using it on beef, and you can even use it on pork. So 1 tablespoon, again, we're at half a lid, and add that to the shrimp and the avocado oil. And then we're just going to mix that one up together and get that seasoning spread out on our shrimp. Mush that one together. My kids have never been big seafood eaters, big shrimp eaters. My husband and I do enjoy to have shrimp or fish, walleye, whatever. So this will be one that we will enjoy when it's just the 2 of us. So in our other bag, we are going to get that one all ready. And in a small bowl, we are going to go again with our mixture, minus the peas and carrots, of the beef broth and the honey teriyaki sauce. And our same increments, 3/4 cup of the beef broth. Along with half a cup of the honey teriyaki. There we have 3/4 cup. And we will use half a cup of the honey teriyaki. And that uses up our whole jar of the honey teriyaki sauce. So you're getting 2 meals out of that one. We use this one, like I said, mostly on stir fry or chicken breasts, but I have been known to make ribs, and I will combine the Bayou Bourbon, the honey teriyaki, and just a store-bought barbecue sauce. You could use the smoky bacon barbecue sauce with that as well. And just mix those all together for my ribs, and it makes fabulous ribs as well. So you can use this honey teriyaki sauce, and any type of meats. And you just want to whisk that together. And then we're going to close this up and bag it. So this is our shrimp and veggie skillet. So we have our shrimp with our avocado oil and our onion. And then we have our bag with chicken broth and honey teriyaki. And then we are going to put both of those into yet another bag with our vegetables. So we have our shrimp bag here. Shrimp. Our liquids. And then your stir fry vegetables. So again, it's a broccoli stir fry that I chose. I like broccoli. My son will eat cooked broccoli. So there we have all of our bags in one. So this one is now ready to go as well. So very quick, very easy. We're on 45 minutes and we're on our 5th meal. So this is awesome. Okay, so the last one that we are making is the Southwest chicken skillet. So I have a bag with the chicken in it. And again, it is cubed chicken that I had done up earlier. And then we are going to add to our chicken bag. So we have our poblano pepper. That was kind of fun to say. So you want to chop it. I kind of diced mine. The instructions do say chop, so we'll see how that works for me. So we have a chicken, 1.5 pounds of chicken, and then the poblano chili pepper, 2 tablespoons of the avocado oil. And then to this, we're also going to be adding onion again. So 2 tablespoons of the avocado oil, and then 1 tablespoon of the onion. A half a lid in with our chicken and oil. Now, because I'm choosing to not do the rice in advance with this one, I do not have my bag of rice to add my black beans to. So I'm just going to hold those out and make a note that this one is going to need rice and black beans. So I'm just going to grab my Sharpie here real quick and make that note on my label to remind myself that we need rice and black beans. If you have made the rice in advance, our next step would be mixing the can of black beans with the rice, and that would be going into the bag with the other ingredients. So now we need another gallon freezer bag, and we are going to be mixing up the jar of corn black bean salsa. And just a little bit. So we are going to use the whole entire jar of corn black bean salsa in this one. Again, if you haven't had this one, it's a good chunky, healthy salsa. It has corn in it. It has black beans in it along with the tomatoes. So a very healthy salsa for you. Black beans are very good for you. So anytime you see a recipe calling for beans, I will oftentimes just substitute black beans for whatever type of bean it calls for. Even in my chili, I use black beans in there as well. So we have our corn black bean salsa. We need a 1/2 cup of chicken broth. Half a cup of chicken broth in there with the corn black bean salsa. And then that's all that's going to be in there. So we're just going to mix that up a little bit. Squeeze all of the air out first. Mix that together. Set that aside. And then we have a quart size bag. And we would be putting 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese. I actually have Marble Jack, and there's about 1 cup left in here. So I'm not even going to use that Ziploc bag. I'm just going to put my cheese bag in with the others. So then we're going to put all of those into another gallon Ziploc bag. So we have our chicken with our peppers, oil and onion. And then we have our bag with the corn black bean salsa. And then we have our cheese. So all of those go into one bag. And again, there would be another bag of rice, but that I will be making on the day that I decide to make that meal. So there we have it. In roughly 45 minutes, we put together 5 meals, and those we are going to be able to take out. We're going to thaw. We're going to pick up with the directions in the cookbooklet that came along with the products in the kit, and we are going to be able to make 5 meals now that are already ready and just waiting in the freezer for us to enjoy. So I hope you had fun making these recipes along with me, and I hope you enjoy sharing them with your family. And if you have any questions or need anything else, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you whenever I need to. Thanks. Have a good night.